Hello everyone, welcome back to Yarns and Fins. I am Kay, and for today's video, I'll be sharing with you how to crochet the Marabella top. There is also a written pattern available to purchase, and you can find my shop links from the description box below. To begin, make a slip knot and chain 16. To start a row 1, make a shell on the 7th chain from hook, and to make a shell, you will work 2 double crochet, chain 1 and 2 double crochet on the same stitch. Next, we are going to skip 2 chains and work 1 double crochet on the next. Again, skip 2 chains and work shell stitch on the next. To finish row 1, work 1 double crochet on the very last chain. Now for row 2, we will begin with the chain 3, flip your work, and then on this first chain 1 space, we will work a shell stitch. Next, we will work a front post double crochet on this stitch. Then another shell stitch on the next chain 1 space. Then finish row 2 with a double crochet on the chain 3 space from the previous row. For row 3, begin with a chain 3, flip your work, and then work a shell stitch on the first chain 1 space. Next, work a back post double crochet from this post, or the front post double crochet from the previous row. Next, another shell stitch on the next chain 1 space. And finish the row with a double crochet on the chain 3 space from the previous row. For rows 4 to 7, we will just repeat the same pattern on row 2 and row 3. For row 8, we will begin with chain 3, flip your work, and then work a shell stitch on the first chain 1 space. Then on the next post, we will work a front post double crochet, chain 1 and another front post double crochet on the same post. Another shell on the chain 1 space. And finish with a double crochet from the chain 3 space from the previous row. For row 9, chain 3, flip your work, shell on the chain 1 space, back post double crochet on the next post, double crochet, chain 1, double crochet on this chain 1 space or the chain space in between the two posts. Again, back post double crochet on the next post, shell on the next chain 1 space, and finish with a double crochet on the chain 3 space from the previous row. For row 10, chain 3 and flip your work, shell on chain 1 space, and then a front post double crochet on the next post. Repeat that pattern across. Finish row 10 with a double crochet on the chain 3 space from the previous row. For row 11, we will begin with a chain 3, flip your work, and then we will now increase the double crochets in every shell, and to increase, skip 1 double crochet from the shell, double crochet on the next, a shell on the chain 1 space, then double crochet on the next stitch, skip the last one, and then a back post double crochet on the next post. Repeat that pattern across. Finish row 11 with a double crochet on the chain 3 space from the previous row. For row 12, chain 3, flip your work, and then this time we will not increase the shells, so we will skip 2, double crochet on the next stitch, shell on the chain 1 space, then double crochet on the next stitch, and skip the last 2 and then work a front post double crochet on the next post. Repeat that pattern across. Finish row 12 with a double crochet on the chain 3 space from the previous row. For row 13, chain 3 and flip your work, and we will again increase the double crochets of our shell stitch. So we will skip 1 stitch and then double crochet on the next stitches, and then on the chain 1 space work a shell stitch. Then double crochet the next stitches, skip the very last one and work a back post double crochet on the next post. Repeat that pattern across. Finish row 13 with a double crochet on the chain 3 space from the previous row. For row 14, chain 3, flip your work, and again there will be no increase, so we will skip 2 stitch, double crochet the next stitches, shell on the chain 1 space, then double crochet on the next stitches, skip the last 2 and work a front post double crochet on the next post. Repeat that pattern across. So basically, we will just keep alternating rows with increase and rows without increase until the total length of the panel stretches from your shoulder to your bust point. And the width should stretch a quarter of your bust girth. If your width is enough but the length isn't, add repeats of pattern on row 13 and 14 without increase until its length stretches from shoulder to bust point. For my size extra small, I increased the shell until I have 14 double crochets per shell, and I already have enough width but the length isn't, so I added 3 more rows without increases. In this video, I will be showing you how to do it until row 20 to show you the increases. Now finish row 14 with a double crochet on the chain 3 space from the previous row. Row 15, chain 3, flip your work, skip 1 double crochet the next stitches, and then shell on the chain 1 space. Now double crochet on the next stitches, skip the very last, and then work a back post double crochet on the next post. Repeat the pattern across. Finish row 15 with a double crochet on the chain 3 space from the previous row. Row 16, chain 3, flip your work, skip 2 stitches and then double crochet next stitches. Again, shell on chain 1 space. Double crochet next stitches, skip the last 2 and work a front post double crochet on the next post. Repeat the pattern across. Finish row 16 with a double crochet on the chain 3 space from the previous row. Row 17, chain 3, flip your work, skip 1 stitch, double crochet next stitches. Shell on chain 1 space. Double crochet next stitches, skip the last one and then work a back post double crochet on the next post. Repeat the pattern across. Finish row 17 with a double crochet on the chain 3 space from the previous row. Row 18, chain 3, flip your work, skip first 2 stitches and double crochet next stitches. Shell on chain 1 space. Double crochet next stitches and skip the last 2 stitch. Then work a front post double crochet on the next post. Repeat the pattern across. Finish row 18 with a double crochet on the chain 3 space from the previous row. Row 19, chain 3, flip your work, skip the first stitch and double crochet next stitches. Shell on chain 1 space. Double crochet next stitches, skip the last one and work a back post double crochet on the next post. Repeat the pattern across. Finish row 19 with a double crochet on the chain 3 space from the previous row. For row 20, chain 3 flipper work, skip first 2 stitches and double crochet next stitches. Shell on chain 1 space, double crochet next stitches, skip the last 2 and work a front post double crochet on the next post. Repeat the pattern across. Finish row 20 with a double crochet on the chain 3 space from the previous row. So the width of this panel already stretches a quarter of my bust girth, but the length isn't enough, so I'm going to add 3 more rows all without increase. That means we will always skip 2 at the beginning and at the end of every shell. So to continue, begin with chain 3 flipper work, skip 2 stitch and double crochet next stitches. Shell on chain 1 space, double crochet on the next stitches and skip the last 2 stitch and then work a back post double crochet on the next post. Repeat the pattern across. Finish row 21 with a double crochet on the chain 3 space from the previous row. And then for row 22 and 23, we will just repeat the same pattern on the last 2 rows you just made. Then after that, cut your yarn and we will work at the back panel. To start the back panel, attach your yarn on the very first chain of your foundation chain. For row 1, chain 3, skip the next 2 chains and work a shell on the next. Then skip 2 chains and work a back post double crochet on this post. Again, skip 2 and work a shell on the next. Finish with a double crochet on the next space. For row 2 onwards, we will just repeat everything we did on the front panel and make sure to have the same total count of rows. And then after that, make 2 of this and then don't cut your yarn yet on the second one. Once you've done both, lay them down like this. Make sure that your working yarn is at the center, and then using your stitch marker, attach all corners of the panels. So we will start working in rounds here, and this part will be the back of our top. To attach, slip stitch on the chain 3 space and then begin the round with a chain 3 and flip your work. For this round, same pattern for the shells, skip 2 stitches and double crochet next stitches. Shell on chain 1 space. Double crochet next stitches, skip the last 2 and work a front post double crochet on the next post. Repeat the pattern around. To attach all corners, we will just do a front post double crochet on both chain 3 space, and to do that, yarn over, insert your hook on both, yarn over, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through 2, and yarn over, pull through 2. To finish round 1, slip stitch on the first chain 3 space. For round 2, chain 3 and flip your work. Again, same pattern for the shell, skip the first 2 stitch and double crochet next stitches. Shell on chain 1 space. Double crochet on next stitches, skip the last 2 and work a back post double crochet on the next post. Repeat the pattern around. Finish round 2 with a slip stitch on the first chain 3 space. For round 3, chain 3, flip your work. In this round, we will now start decreasing the double crochets of the shells, but only the shells in front of the top. And since we are starting at the back, we will not decrease the shells on the first 3 shells. To continue with the usual shell pattern, skip the first 2 stitch, double crochet next stitches, shell on chain 1 space, double crochet next stitches, skip the last 2 and work a front post double crochet on the next post. Repeat this on the next 2 shells. Now I have finished the first 3 shells, which is the back panel, and on the next 6 shells, which is the front panel, we will do the decrease. To decrease, skip the first 3 stitches and then double crochet next stitches. Shell on chain 1 space, double crochet next stitches, skip the last 3, and work a front post double crochet on the next post. Repeat the pattern on the next 5 shells. So here's the back panel without decrease, the front panel with decreases, and then we are again at the second back panel, so we will work without decrease. To finish round 3, slip stitch on the chain 3 space, and then for round 4 to 6, we will repeat the same pattern on round 3, which is without decrease on the back panel and with decrease on the front panels. The only difference is that we are still alternating the front post double crochet and back post double crochet. For round 7, we will work the usual shell stitch, which is skip 2, double crochet next stitches, shell on chain 1 space, double crochet next stitches, skip the last 2, and work a front post or a back post, double crochet on the next post. If you want to make the top longer, repeat the same pattern on round 7, still alternating the front post double crochet and back post double crochet before increasing the stitches for the last 2 rounds. Make sure to end with an odd number of rounds. For round 8, we will continue with the usual shell patterns, but we will again increase on the shells from the front panels. Here I'm already on the front panel of round 8. We will increase, so we will only skip 1, double crochet next stitches, shell on chain 1 space, and then double crochet next stitches, skip the last one, and work a back post double crochet on the next post. Repeat the pattern on the next 5 shell stitch. Here on the last 3 shells, work with the usual shell pattern and then slip stitch to finish the round. For the last round, begin with a chain 1, then work 1 single crochet and 1 half double crochet on the first stitch, and then double crochet next stitches. On the chain 1 space, work 3 double crochet, picot, and another 3 double crochet on the same chain 1 space. To make a picot stitch, chain 3 and slip stitch on the first chain. Next, double crochet next stitches, and on the very last stitch of the shell, work one half double crochet and one single crochet on the same stitch. Next, work one front post single crochet on the next post, and then repeat the shell pattern around as you are finishing round. To finish the round, slip stitch on your first single crochet and cut the yarn. For the edging, attach your yarn anywhere on the armhole and then work 2 single crochets in each side of the rows around. In this part with a stitch marker or the corners of the panels, you can just work a front post single crochet on both chain 3 spaces. Finish the edging with a slip stitch or as you like. For the neckline edging, same pattern as the armhole will be done. And then as you can see here at the back, I added a strap at this level. And if you also want to add strap, you can just make a chain that is at least 20 centimeter long and then slip stitch each chain all the way back. After that, we are done with our top. I hope you enjoyed watching. Video link for the sleeve versions will be added on the description box below once they are uploaded. If you like this video, don't forget to subscribe for more tutorials like this.